Tarot acts as a gateway to the psyche. What does this mean? It's kind of like opening a door and seeing the inside of the subconscious part of your mind. So it brings, through symbology, it brings the things that are hidden into a place that can be seen. There is currently a Mercury retrograde, and during these times, it feels like time slows down. And for me, these are really good times to do shadow work or look at parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't integrated yet, parts of ourselves that are causing us pain or struggle. I'm just gonna burn some mugwort here. And we're just gonna sit with these energies for a minute. Now, the way that I read tarot, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to tell you that your ex is coming back to you. I'm not going to tell you that something is coming for you or you're moving into a big, expansive place. I have fallen victim to that kind of reading before. I didn't realize it was harmful. So I'm going to try my best to be as raw as possible with the energy that shows up. I always invite everyone to grab a notebook, something to write with. You can use the chat box down below if you want to keep notes that way. Whatever is most comfortable for you. And we're just gonna kind of relax into this because it's important to take your time. And I have pine all over my desk space here and some sage that I'm just adding to this pot as well. I'm going to be reading from the Crow Tarot deck today. If something doesn't feel like it's right for you, then it's probably not for you, and that's okay. That's why I always encourage everyone to take their own notes so that they can process what they need to process. Now, in doing this shadow work today, I was thinking of like some questions, like one of the main questions that I personally have been wrestling with is about filling the void within us, right? What void are we filling by purchasing a lot of items, a lot of material things, or even by giving things away? What void are you trying to fill, or what wound are you trying to bandage over, right? So I think we're going to explore that today. What sort of ways do we avoid our emotions? What sort of ways do we avoid taking accountability? How are we hiding from ourselves? Thank you. Six of Swords. We're victimizing ourselves. We're saying stuck. I say we. Whoever's watching this video, you could possibly be stuck in a cycle of victimizing, right? So the Six of Swords is generally about victory, right? But in the reverse position, it could be feeling like you're not victorious, like feeling like you're being defeated all the time. And this is a negative thought pattern that can keep you trapped and stuck in those kind of cycles, you know? When something happens to you, you blame yourself. You might say, oh, I deserve to be punished. Or, oh, whatever situation happened to me, I probably deserved it. But that's not true, right? You're lying to yourself in that way. You're deceiving yourself. Thank you. You also have the Eight of Swords, so slowing down. Moving too quickly from task to task is an avoidance of looking at your emotions or looking at your situation for what it is. Trying to heal things too quickly is also one of them. I've fallen victim to that, trying to heal something, trying to force health to happen. Right? We can't force anything that doesn't want to go, because that's how you cause more hurt, more pain, more damage. So if you're constantly trying to force a pain to heal, you're going to cause yourself more wounds in the long run. Instead, I think it's better to sit in that discomfort, sit with those feelings, name them, talk to them, record yourself, write it out, create art outside of yourself, bring what's inside outside so that you can work with it in a more manageable way. I myself am learning how to slow down and not move so quickly through things. Right now I'm trying not to, I have the urge to pick another card, but I'm sitting with what I have in front of me, because what is right here right now is already valuable. This is enough information. We don't need to keep digging for more. Right? That's part of the message too. You don't need to keep digging and digging and digging for more things that need to be fixed. I'm gonna let you sit with that for a minute. Just like the ocean waves ebb and flow, so do our emotions. You may have this fear come up and you're not sure why. So sit with it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to push it away. Just allow it to be there. It's allowed to be there. There's some videos I've been watching. If you just YouTube search The Great Allowing, this woman does an amazing meditation of allowing your emotions and the stories within you to unfold in their own natural time. I feel like oftentimes we're pushed toward healing or producing or doing more than we can afford to at the time, right? And I'm not talking about monetary value, I'm talking about energetic value, right? There's so much energy you can afford to spend, and what you spend it on creates the reality that you live in, right? I'm trying to think of better words for this, but this is what's coming out right now. I think one key takeaway from this, my own perspective here, if I put this in here, my role of being a reader, I constantly have this tug of war that I'm not good enough, or my messages aren't going to reach the people they need to, or something like these self-doubts, right? And I do this thing where I keep accumulating different decks. I keep accumulating tools and things, divination tools that I can use to assist people in this journey of healing, right? But at the end of the day, I don't need any of this stuff. I could sit here and tell you things from my own perspective without using these tools, right? And it kind of is the same for artists, right? There's, in the art community, people go out and they buy super fancy art supplies and they try to make really good work with these fancy art supplies, but at the end of the day, whether you have $100 set of colored pencils or a $1 set of colored pencils, the art that you make is an extension of you regardless of the material. And I think that says a lot about us as humans in general, is that the society that we grow up in tells us that we need to have more, we need to be better, we need to push ourselves, right? You have to have the fanciest cars and the fanciest houses and things like that. But it's fabricated, because that's not true. You don't have to have everything put together. You don't have to have yourself all put together, right? And when we're in these modes where we think we have to have everything perfectly right now, and we see on social media that, well, this influencer has all of these things, and then we get in our own heads and we're like, oh, well, if I don't have those things, I'm not good enough. And this is the victimization. What you have in front of you is good enough. What you have within you is good enough. You don't have to keep chasing some dream that somebody else has, somebody else outside of you. I'm being called to share that if you do feel inspired by somebody, then that means that that's part of your mission in life. So for me, when I watch other tarot readers and I follow kind of what they're doing, I see what decks they're using, and I'm like, oh, maybe I need that deck, right? I've done that before. I've bought a deck that another tarot reader was using, or I've tried to film in a way that was similar to another reader, right? That's us exploring this part of ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the issue comes about when we get in our minds and we start judging ourselves for not being exactly as the other person is. Right? We try to fill this void of not being good enough because of what other people have said to us, or because of what the comparison is the thief of joy, right? Even now, I'm sort of feeling this tension between my solar plexus and my heart chakra, because I feel as though this message that is coming out is meant to come out in this way that it's coming out, but there's also this voice in the back of my mind that's like, oh, well, what if I miss something, or, you know what I mean? there's these self-doubts that come up, and I'm sharing these with you as they come up too, to sort of show you that, like, I'm not perfect either, right? These if you watch other tarot readers, they're not perfect either. They're still learning things. Life is a kind of dance, and sometimes we take a misstep, or we step on our partner's feet, or, you know, some perceived bad thing happens, and it messes up the flow of the dance, right? But what if that slight misstep is part of the dance as well? What if you allowed yourself to make mistakes? What if you allowed yourself to not be perfect? That's a message that's been coming up a lot in videos that I've been watching too. It's like, put yourself out there and allow yourself to make your art, even if it's not perfect. There was actually a drawing I did today, and I'm feeling called to share it with you because it's not perfect. It's like a weird scribble thing. I was feeling very angry, and I wasn't sure how exactly to get this out. And there's another YouTuber that I watch. Her name is Fairy. I highly recommend her channel. She talks about using art as alchemy, and I think it's a really good thing. So I'm gonna share this with you. It's kind of sloppy and scribbly, but it's still art, and it helped me to get this feeling out. But it's kind of like this, like, snake lady. I don't know, she has a weird tail here. It's like a rattlesnake. These are her arms. And she's like holding her head and screaming, and this sort of embodied the feeling that I was feeling, right? And again, like, this isn't perfect. It's very messy, but it's raw, it's real, it's mine. And I think that's kind of that's the message. Like, show up as yourself regardless of what other people think, or regardless of where you are on the game board, right? Just because someone is 5 steps ahead of you, it doesn't mean that they're winning the game, right? Think of Monopoly. To play Monopoly, you're going around the game board, right? But it doesn't matter if you're in first place or last place. It matters how many cards, what are those called? Boulevards. However many boulevards you have. But even then, like, you have to have the most money, I guess, to win the game. This was an analogy. You don't have to have a large amount of money to win the game. I think the message here is you're already winning wherever you are. You're already winning. You just have to tune into that. You could choose to say, oh, I'm losing, I'm a loser. Or you could choose to say, I'm winning, I'm a winner. It depends on how you look at it, what your perspective is, right? You can choose which side of the coin you want to look at. Because being a loser and being a winner are both the same, on the same polarity. This feels really good. I love reading during retrogrades, especially shadow work. I love reading for shadow work because it helps us realize that we don't have to be perfect and we don't have to have it all together. And we are exactly where we need to be at the right time. I'm gonna leave this message here. We only pulled 2 cards. If you found this helpful at all, you can leave a little comment down below. Share it with a friend if you feel called to. Take some time to sit with your feelings, right? Journal about them. I highly, highly recommend journaling. It has helped me to accept parts of myself that I might not otherwise have been able to see. And yeah, I don't really know what else to do. This is me being imperfect. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed day. Take care of yourself.